Welcome back to One Life You'd Rather Not Live. Continuing on with our first ever weekly recap, so that Brian Franz can be assured we properly train you idiots. Oops, my bad. I meant our highly intelligent viewers who we respect profoundly. In a wise move, Mr. Carlivity has moved Star away from my character, her former teacher, but alas that means she is destined to return to coal hell. On Friday, we were treated to Star spending an entire episode desperately trying to avoid her father and brothers, so she could rush to poor Cole's side as he suffered those withdrawal delusions. Whiny clingy Star is obviously the way to go here. Perhaps I'm suffering from one of Cole's withdrawal-induced delusions, but I think that Langston and Marco are the teen couple with chemistry. Can you believe these two haven't had sex already? Imagine two teenagers in this day and age taking sex seriously. Obviously they are also smarter than Star and Cole. Too bad psycho slut Latina Barbie is going to try to destroy their first time. Doesn't she need to go back to Colombia to pay for her crimes there already? Can she please go, but leave her father in Landview to banter with Dorian? Speaking of Dorian, she really does have chemistry with this Ray guy despite his cheesy accent. Of course, she also has chemistry with that guy David who certainly knows how to rock a pair of sunglasses and a suit. Now that she will no longer be Mrs. Have a Seat and Mr. Cheesy Accent is leaving, Dorian fans may be worried about her future. Never fear, she'll get the same airtime and story that Vicky does. Vicky continued to be awesome this week even with very little to do. After having a nice goodbye with David, she had a date at the palace that was sadly interrupted by the petulant antics of Dorian and the junior high school games of Todd and Tella. That is okay though, because her own date was busy still being jealous of her closeness to her ex-husband. What is that I hear? No. It sounded more like an anvil falling to me. While we are on the subject of Todd and T, may I say that it seems unwise to have a character who is a rapist doing sex scenes that are fairly rough? It just feels wrong. Also RJ Gannon came back to town. One might think it's because his brother and his niece are back, but no, oh no. He has to come back to be used as a prop in the junior high school games between Todd and Tella. His is one life I'm definitely glad I don't have to live. Mr. Carlivity has done a good job with two of the children on One Life. Jack is a carbon copy of his father's darkly funny and sarcastic side. Hopefully that is where the similarities will end, but still it is fun watching him be a little biatch to everyone around him. On the total opposite end of the spectrum is Matthew, who is a truly good kid and clearly a product of his parents Bo and Nora. Well, except that he is way more forgiving than them, as we have seen with Cole. Perhaps he needs to be just a little bit more like Cole's delusional Matthew, who is encouraging him to jump out a window, a feeling that I would guess many fans felt as Cole's withdrawal scenes dragged on and on, and on. Alright, that should have you sufficiently caught up on the events of One Life to Live, that you should now know that it is one life you'd rather not live. I'll see you next week, unless Ron decides to stand up to Franz for a change, and tell him no. In other words, I will see you next week. Clifton out.